Leadership literally comes from the word lead. The word lead implies directing, fostering or managing, guiding, and also showing or influencing. Leadership is a very important factor in a country because most successes and failures depend on this leadership. The leader has responsibility both physically and spiritually for the success of the work activities of those who are led, so that being a leader is not easy and not everyone will have the same thing in carrying out their leadership. On this occasion, the Heaven is My Land channel will discuss 7 presidents who have led Indonesia, and the following are the leadership styles of Indonesian state leaders from time to time. Watch until the end of the video, because this video can be a consideration in choosing a leader who will be held on February 14, 2024. Happy watching. President Sukarno 1945-1967. Sukarno was born on June 6, 1902 in East Java, to Raden Sukemi Sosrodiharjo and Ra Ida Nyoman Rai, who at that time belonged to a noble family and were a respectable family when viewed from a social structure. As a leader, Sukarno was said to be the perfect figure, especially in leading this vast and diverse country of Indonesia. Sukarno was not only charismatic and authoritative, but he was also a scholar and ideologue. If you look at his leadership style, there is no doubt that Sukarno was included in the group of charismatic style leaders, in which he had extraordinary charm, authority and energy, so that he was able to influence others to become his followers. Sukarno was very skilled at changing other people's perceptions so that they became the same as him, and was able to get them to willingly follow his orders and wishes. The first president of Indonesia is also known as a person with an explosive temperament, but is able to transmit this great enthusiasm to others. He is able to ignite the enthusiasm of all people and inspire them all to dare to do what they want. Everyone who follows the leader with the same style as President Sukarno usually has a strong belief that the leader is always right, feels affection and pride for his leader, has strong motivation to be involved in the mission of the group, wants to obey the leader and believes that they can contribute to the group. Sukarno's achievements for Indonesia. President Suharto 1967-1998. General TNIH. M. Suharto was the second president of Indonesia who served from 1967 to 1998, replacing Sukarno. Internationally, especially in the West, Suharto is often referred to as the smiling general, because of his smiling face and friendliness. Even so, with the various controversies that have occurred, he is often referred to as authoritarian for those who are at odds with him. Before becoming president, Suharto was a military leader during the Dutch East Indies and the Japanese Empire, with the last rank of Major General. After the 1965 September 30th movement, Suharto then carried out control and security operations on orders from President Sukarno. One of which he did was to crush the September 30th movement and declare the PKI a banned organization. Various controversies say this operation killed around 100,000 to 2 million people, but this number is questionable because of the victims of the September 30th movement. Suharto was then given a mandate by the Provisional People's Consultative Assembly (MPRS) as president on March 26, 1968, replacing Sukarno, and officially became president in 1968. He was re-elected by the MPR in 1973, 1978, 1983, 1988, 1993 and 1998. In 1998, His tenure ended after resigning on May 21 that year, following the May 1998 riots and the occupation of the DPR-MPR building by thousands of students. He is the longest-serving person as President of Indonesia. During nearly 32 years of his reign, Suharto laid the foundation for development in Indonesia through Repelida. During his reign, which was called the New Order, Suharto built a stable state and achieved economic and infrastructure progress. In this era, the people found that the prices of basic commodities were affordable and the situation of security and order was maintained, as well as the achievement of rice self-sufficiency. This was marked by the medal from rice importer to self-sufficiency from the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO) in 1984, which President Suharto received. Suharto was also a controversial figure because he limited the freedom of Indonesian citizens of Chinese descent, occupied Timor, imposed the single principle of Pancasila in various fields, and was called one of the most corrupt regimes in modern world history. According to Transparency International, the estimated loss to the state is around $15 to $35 billion during his reign. However, this was not proven. Even Time magazine lost the lawsuit and other efforts to bring Suharto to justice failed due to his deteriorating health. After suffering from prolonged illness, he died of multifunction organ failure in Jakarta on the 27th of January 2008. BJ Habibie 1998-1999. Successful leadership necessitates the ability to turn a vision or theory into reality. The more a vision or theory is realized in reality, the more effective leadership has been carried out. Bakaruddin Yusuf Habibie is a clear figure with a track record of success and milestones as the fruit of the realization of visions and theories into reality. The multidimensional figure who passed away at the Gatot Subroto Army Hospital, Jakarta, at the age of 83 on Wednesday, 11/9, left so many traces of leadership. Not only is the third president of the Republic of Indonesia, the man who was born in Parepare, South Sulawesi, June 25, 1936 during his lifetime left so many inspirations to emulate. As an aerospace scientist, BJ Habibie was the first human not only in Indonesia, but also in the world, who was able to show how to calculate the random propagation of airplane wing cracks, or known as random crack propagation down to the atoms. This achievement earned Habibie a special title as Mr. Crack. Not only that, in the world of science and technology, aerospace experts also know Habibie, who gave birth to a number of theories related to the development of advanced technology in this field. Therefore, when releasing BJ Habibie's body to his final resting place at the Kalibata Heroes Cemetery, South Jakarta, President Joko Widodo also paid reverence to a genius figure in the world of aerospace with this special calling. Apart from being a widely known aerospace scientist, BJ Habibie is also known as a pious Muslim. As a Muslim person, there are many leadership traces left by the deceased. Just as the originator of the theory of relativity, Albert Einstein, argued that science without religion is blind and religion without science is paralyzed, BJ Habibie also believes that science, faith and piety must exist in a synergistic unit. In this context, Habibie's leadership footprint was phenomenal. Apart from being known as the founder and chairman of the First Association of Indonesian Muslim Intellectuals, BJ Habibie was also the person who initiated the establishment of Bank Muamalat and implemented the concept of Islamic banking in Indonesia, which is widely accepted by Muslims in Indonesia to this day. Abdurrahman Wahid 1999–2001 Abdurrahman Wahid, born Abdurrahman ad-Dakal, 7 September 1940 to the 30th of December 2009, or who is familiarly called Gusdur, is an Indonesian Muslim figure and political leader who became the fourth president of Indonesia from 1999 to 2001. Gusdur's leadership was charismatic transformational in which when making decisions, Gusdur emphasized his charismatic attitude but without violence and military pressure. The advantages of Gusdur's leadership style. Lack of Gusdur's leadership style. Megawati Sukarno Putri, 2001-2004. Professor. Dr. Pilgrimage Mother. Dia Permata Megawati Setiawati Sukarnoputri was the fifth president of Indonesia who served from the 23rd of July 2001 to the 20th of October 2004. Megawati Sukarnoputri continued the leadership of President Abdurrahman Wahid, who was stopped in the middle of the road. In her leadership, Megawati emphasized leadership in Eastern culture. Megawati is a leader who has a strong personality. Not easily influenced by anyone, if it is not in accordance with his thoughts and conscience about the ideals of the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia. For him, the vision and mission for the leaders of this nation cannot be other than the vision and mission contained in the preamble to the 1945 Constitution. Changes to the vision and mission that differ from the preamble to the 1945 Constitution must be prevented. Megawati is a calm person with a personality that tends to be closed. However, they have strong character and authority as a leader. This can be seen from his accuracy in understanding the various conflicts or crises that have occurred and his persistence in emphasizing non-violence. During her leadership, Megawati was also known to be firm and adhere to her principles, namely politics with ideology, according to the Constitution, and prioritizing the interests of the people. Her attitude succeeded in making Megawati achieve various achievements while serving as the nation's leader. Susilo Bambang Yudoyono 2004-2014 is a leadership style in accordance with the era of democracy. President Susilo Bambang Yudoyono also emphasized that he tends to give in, preferring to compromise and make consensus, because Susilo Bambang Yudoyono does not want the leadership he is carrying out to be authoritarian. Susilo Bambang Yudoyono, a democratic leader, in making decisions always invites several representatives of his subordinates, but the decision remains in his hands. Susilo Bambang Yudoyono is the type of leader who is careful and thinks carefully before making a decision. An important achievement noted during Susilo Bambang Yudoyono's leadership was the success of completing Indonesia's maritime boundaries with two friendly countries, namely Singapore and the Philippines. Joko Widodo 2014-present. Joko Widodo, or known as Jokowi, has the full name, Engineer, Pilgrim Father. Joko Widodo. He was born in Surakarta, Central Java on June 21, 1961. Jokowi's leadership period began on October 20, 2014 until now. There are three Jokowi leadership styles, namely the first is participative, namely always participating or involved with members when making decisions or activities such as frequent blusukan actions. The second is charismatic, where Jokowi can solve problems that can attract the attention of others. The third is to measure the relationship between members and their leaders. During his reign, President Jokowi has been able to begin to even out the existing development in Indonesia, where the infrastructure being built is no longer only focused on the island of Java, but also outside Java. President Jokowi also has the image of a leader who is close to his people, and President Jokowi also implements social programs such as KIP and BPJS, which are of course very helpful to the community. That is the analysis of the leadership style of the Indonesian president, who has a style in leading the country. After all, the leadership style of the president who once led in Indonesia certainly had a great influence on the Indonesian state and society. Behind the weaknesses of the Indonesian president's leadership, there are strengths, and the success achieved is of course the result of the hard work of the country's leaders. Thus our discussion this time. From the 7 characteristics of Indonesian leaders we can understand that the president's leadership has a big influence on the country. So for the upcoming presidential election, whoever will be the next leader, let's support it, because there is not one person, even a perfect leader. There are weaknesses, there must be achievements that can be useful.